She thought I didn't know about her second Instagram account. I followed from a pet profile and watched her soft launch a whole other relationship. I commented, "Your dog has better loyalty." I'm Josh. I'm 34 years old and live in Boise, Idaho. I work in HVAC, good job, pays the bills, nothing fancy. I've always been the type to keep to myself, hang with a few close friends, and spend time with my dog, Duke. I was with Alyssa for almost 5 years. We met at a barbecue my buddy Matt threw one summer. She showed up wearing this worn-out denim jacket and boots like she had just come back from a road trip. I thought she was cool. Funny, smart. The kind of girl who'd order a burger and actually eat the whole thing. It felt real with her. We moved in together about 2 years in. Things seemed solid. We weren't flashy, just steady. I liked that. She worked from home as a freelance designer. She said she liked the flexibility, and I supported it. Paid the rent, helped out wherever I could. I handled the bills. I cooked half the time. It felt like we were building something. Until things started to shift. At first, it was little things. Her phone never left her side. She stopped tagging me in photos. Said she wanted her profile to be more aesthetic. Whatever. Then she started posting less and less on her main account altogether. Still, I didn't think much of it. I trusted her. Duke has his own Instagram, don't laugh. I made it as a joke, but it took off a little. People love his dumb face. I'd post pictures of him chasing his tail or sleeping upside down, nothing crazy. One night, I was logged into his account, and Instagram recommended I follow a profile called @Lisa.on. Location. That name hit weird. Alyssa never spelled her name with a Y. At least not that I'd seen. The profile was private, but the profile picture looked like her. Same hair, same style. I hesitated but followed it using Duke's account. She accepted within 5 minutes. That's when I knew something was up. The posts started slow. Mostly pictures of coffee, sunsets, and vague captions. She had a whole other vibe on there. Very single, spiritual woman on a healing journey kind of thing. But the longer I watched, the clearer it became. This wasn't just a personal journal. It was a place where she was living another life. A picture showed 2 wine glasses across from her. Caption said, "Some nights are meant to be shared." Another one had 2 sets of feet side by side on a hotel bed. One of them looked like hers. The other, some guy wearing socks with pineapples on them. Then came the soft launch post. It was her, holding hands with someone. May their face shone. But I knew those hands. I knew that goddamn jacket. It was some dude she told me was a client, from Portland. Some brand manager she said she was helping with a logo. I felt sick. Physically sick. My stomach flipped, my head started spinning. I wanted to scream, but Duke was laying next to me, wagging his tail, not knowing his whole world was about to change too. I didn't say anything at first. I needed to be sure. I needed to see how far it would go. So I kept watching. For weeks. She started using lines she used with me. Reposting old photos but cropping me out. Posing in the same places we had memories. She even took the guy to the lake where I first told her I loved her. It was like she was rewriting our story with someone else. But nothing made me angrier than the picture of him holding Duke's leash at the Greenbelt Trail. That was our spot. Every Saturday morning, Duke and I would go for a run there. She barely came with us. Said she hated the bugs. And now this guy was holding my dog's leash, like he'd earned it? I snapped. But not in the way you'd expect. I didn't yell. I didn't trash anything. I just waited for the next post. It was a shot of her, and the guy walking away from the camera. Again, you couldn't see their faces. Just their backs. The caption read, "The heart knows what it wants." I commented from Duke's account, "Your dog has better loyalty." Then I closed the app. Not 10 minutes later, I heard her yell from the bedroom. She came out holding her phone, eyes wide, face red. "Josh, what the hell is this?" she shouted. I just stared at her. You tell me, I said. Her mouth opened, then shut. She was stuck. Caught. I can explain, no? You can pack. She didn't move. Just stood there, clutching her phone like it might save her. I said pack. I repeated, my voice low. Josh, please. It's not what it looks like, she said, stepping closer. I stepped back. Don't lie to me. I've seen everything. The posts, the hand-holding, him walking my dog. You think I wouldn't notice? You soft-launched a whole other relationship like I don't live here. Like I'm invisible. She started crying. Big tears, dramatic sobs. But they didn't move me. I'd seen her cry before, when her old cat died, when she got fired from a client job once. Those were real. This felt like theater. I didn't know how to tell you, she said. You didn't need to tell me. You were hoping I'd never find out. You were building an escape plan, and I wasn't supposed to be part of it. She sat down on the couch like her legs gave out. Duke got up and walked to me. He didn't even look at her. That guy? The one in the pictures? He's not just some fling, is he? She didn't answer right away. That was answer enough. I met him last year, she whispered. He hired me for a logo job. We just connected. While I was paying the bills, buying groceries, walking our dog, you were connecting. She nodded. No fight left in her. I should have told her to leave right then. I should have thrown her stuff out the window. But something in me needed more. I wanted her to feel what I felt. I wanted her to understand what it was like to be betrayed and humiliated by someone who swore they loved you. So I said this. You've got 48 hours. Then I want you gone. She looked confused. Why 48? Because you're going to spend the next 2 days watching everything fall apart. And I meant it. I started with our friends. The people who knew both of us. I sent screenshots of the Instagram posts from Duke's account. I made a Google Drive folder. I titled it, The Truth About Alyssa. People opened it. People talked. Turns out, she hadn't just lied to me. One of our mutual friends, Stacy, texted me that Alyssa told everyone we were on a break, and I had moved out of town for work. Another friend said Alyssa told them I was emotionally distant, and she was waiting for the right time to leave. She wasn't just cheating. She was rewriting our history behind my back. But that wasn't all. I wanted her to feel the embarrassment, the silence, the judgment, the looks. So I posted one final picture on Duke's Instagram. It was just him, laying on the floor next to the couch, looking up at me with his big brown eyes. Caption read, When you realize loyalty is something you're born with, not something you fake for likes. Comments blew up. Friends, even her old clients, started reacting. One of them messaged me privately, saying Alyssa had flirted with him while working on his brand logo. He felt weird about it but didn't say anything. And then came the last message. From her other guy. He DM'd me from a private account. Short message. Didn't know she was living with someone. Sorry, man. Guess she hadn't been honest with him either. And that's when I realized I wasn't just getting revenge. I was watching her world fall in on itself, piece by piece. And I hadn't even started the real part yet. 2 days passed fast. She barely left the bedroom. She didn't say much. Packed some things. Cried a lot. She tried a few times to talk, but I wasn't in the mood to hear anything that sounded like an excuse. On the second night, she came into the living room where I was watching TV with Duke. She stood there in her hoodie and jeans, holding a box of her stuff. I'm going, she said quietly. I nodded. Didn't even pause the show. She hesitated. Josh! I know I don't deserve it, but I need you to know I never meant to hurt you. I muted the TV. Turned to her. You didn't mean to hurt me? You planned it. Lied about it. Hid it for months. That's not a mistake. That's a strategy. Tears again. She opened the door, And just like that, she was gone. But this story wasn't over. 3 days after she left, I got a text from her new guy. Let's call him Shane. Can we talk? Face to face? I didn't answer. He sent another. I feel like I got used. I didn't know what she was doing. I swear. I ended up meeting him at a bar near downtown. I wanted to see the face of the guy who walked my dog while sleeping with my girlfriend. He showed up nervous. Looked younger than me, maybe 29. Dressed like a tech guy, nice jacket, those white sneakers every guy wears now. I didn't know, man. He started right away. She said she had just gotten out of something. Said she wasn't ready to post me yet. I took a sip of my beer. You were ready enough to walk my dog. He winced. I didn't know. I thought Duke was hers. She never said anything about you. Then he pulled out his phone. You should see this. He showed me messages. Long threads of Alyssa texting him sweet things, promises, lies. But also texts where she talked about me. Called me boring. Said I was controlling. Said I guilt-tripped her into staying. She played both of us, he said. I looked him in the eye. You still seeing her? No. She showed up at my place after you outed everything. She cried, begged. I told her to leave. That would have been the end, but something didn't sit right with me. I couldn't stop thinking about the lies she told our friends. About how easy it was for her to twist the truth. So I kept digging. I went through her laptop. She'd left it in the closet. It wasn't password protected. First thing I opened? A folder named Clients_2023. Inside? Some files were normal. Logos. Contracts. But then I saw a folder labeled Private. Inside that? Dozens of photos. Not of us. Not of Shane. But of other guys. Selfies. DMs. Some photos looked intimate. She'd been at this a lot longer than I thought. I clicked through the messages. Some were from over 2 years ago. She was juggling more than one side relationship at a time. Changing stories, changing names. I felt sick again. But I wasn't going to just be angry. I was going to be smart. I stared at the laptop screen for a long time. There were more guys than I could count. Different names, cities, even one who had sent her money to help her get out of a bad situation. She told him she was stuck in an abusive relationship, meaning me, I guess. She painted me as a monster to gain sympathy. And money. That crossed a line. Cheating is one thing. Lying is another. But dragging my name through the mud and scamming people? That's something else. I copied every file, every message, every photo. Made a backup drive and stored it in my safe. If she ever tried to mess with me again, legally or otherwise, I had insurance. But I wasn't just going to keep it tucked away. So I called Stacy, the mutual friend who told me about the on a break lie. Stacy worked part-time as a podcast editor and had a decent following on TikTok. She loved drama. And she hated liars. I sent her a few screenshots, carefully chosen. Just enough to show the pattern. Just enough to hint there was more. She asked me if I wanted her to post it. No names, I said. Not yet. Just facts. She made a video the next day. Talked about a friend who found out his long-term girlfriend had multiple secret online accounts, was cheating, and even scammed people through fake stories. It blew up. Thousands of comments. People sharing similar stories. A few even said they thought they knew the woman from freelance work she had done. Someone even DM'd Stacy saying they'd hired a woman named Alyssa who ghosted them halfway through a project. I stayed quiet. Watched it all burn. But then something happened I didn't expect. I got a call from Alyssa's mom. We talked a few times before, holidays, birthdays. She always seemed nice. I didn't think she even liked me much. But now, her voice was shaking. She's telling people you're blackmailing her, she said. What? She said you hacked her accounts? That you're spreading lies about her online. She's saying you're stalking her. That's when it hit me. She wasn't just a liar, she was dangerous. She wasn't going to go quietly. She was going to flip the story and try to make me the villain. But I was ready. Let me guess, I told her mom. She didn't mention the second Instagram account. Or the cheating. Or the fact that her laptop is full of screenshots of other guys she's lied to. Her mom was silent. I told her everything. Not the edited version, everything. I offered to send her the folder. I think part of her didn't want to believe it, but deep down, she already knew. You could hear it in her voice. I'm sorry, Josh, she said. I don't know what's wrong with her anymore. Neither did I. But I knew one thing, she wasn't going to ruin my name. I printed out everything, texts, DMs, even messages from Shane and the other guy who'd sent her money. I organized them into a timeline, with notes and highlights. If she tried to drag me into court or press charges, I'd show up with a binder that would make her melt in front of a judge. I also made one last post on Duke's account. Just a picture of his paw on top of mine, like we were shaking hands. The caption? Turns out I wasn't the one who needed to be walked. People got the message. Alyssa tried to post on her main account after that. Some vague, cryptic quote about narcissists and toxic men. But it backfired. Comments flooded in. People asked if she was the girl from that cheating story. Someone even found the second Instagram and started tagging it. She deleted both accounts within 24 hours. Then she went silent. But the damage was done. She lost 3 major clients. Shane messaged me again to say she tried to come clean, and begged him to take her back. He blocked her. I even heard from a friend that she tried applying for a design job at a local agency, but they'd seen the videos online and passed. The truth had a longer reach than I ever expected. But I wasn't done yet. A few weeks passed. Life got quiet again. Alyssa was gone. Her stuff was gone. Her name hadn't come up in group chats in a while. Duke seemed happier. So did I, in a strange way. I was still angry, but it didn't own me anymore. I could sleep through the night. Then one afternoon, I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Inside was a typed note and a screenshot of a Craigslist ad. The note said, "You started a war. Now finish it." The screenshot? A job post using my name, my email, and a fake business. It said I was offering HVAC repairs and discreet side jobs, with a winking emoji. It was signed, "Josh, no job too hot to handle." She was trying to mess with my reputation now. Or maybe someone else was. But it felt personal. And it felt fresh. A couple days later, I started getting weird voicemails. One guy asked if I really do what the ad says. Another left a message threatening to report me for fraud because I never showed up for a repair job. I checked and there were now 3 fake job posts under my name. That's when I realized Alyssa wasn't just embarrassed. She was retaliating. And she wasn't working alone. Remember that guy Shane? He messaged me again out of nowhere. "Hey man. Just found out she's staying with her ex-guy named Kevin. He's got some sketchy online background." Apparently, Kevin wasn't just an ex. He was someone she'd been bouncing back and forth between before she met Shane, and possibly during our relationship too. Shane said Kevin had a habit of running shady online scams. Digital blackmail, fake accounts, phishing stuff. Now it made sense. She had gone to Kevin for help. Probably told him I was ruining her life. And needed to be taught a lesson. That's when I got serious. I filed a police report for online harassment and impersonation. I gave them everything, screenshots of the fake posts, voicemails, the letter, and the history between me and Alyssa. They couldn't promise much right away, but they told me to document everything. Then I did something I didn't think I'd do. I reached out to one of the other guys from the folder on her laptop. He was older. Looked like he was in his late 40s, had a family. I found him on LinkedIn, sent a polite but direct message. I believe we were both involved with the same woman. I have reason to think she's using fake job posts to retaliate against people. I have proof if you'd like to talk. He called me that night. Turns out she had borrowed $2,000 from him during the pandemic. Told him she was going to be evicted. She promised to pay him back. Never did. Blocked his number. Changed emails. And now that he heard my story, it all clicked for him. She lied to both of us, he said. But maybe it's time someone stops her for real. We agreed to share everything we had and file a joint civil case. Not for the money. Not even for revenge. Just to make a record. Something legal. Something she couldn't erase with a deleted post or a fake cry. Meanwhile, Stacy posted a follow-up video, without naming names, about how sometimes people will go to scary lengths to rewrite a story they wrote themselves. That one went viral too. Alyssa stayed quiet. But then someone sent me a link. She'd made a third Instagram account. A fresh one. Clean photos, new name, no personal info. But the captions? They were the same. Still vague, still playing victim. Still pretending none of it had ever happened. Only this time, someone in the comments asked, "Aren't you that girl from the dog account drama?" And someone else replied, "Careful, her dog has more integrity than she does." That comment had almost 300 likes. It all came crashing down 2 months later. The joint civil case I filed with the other guy, his name was Greg, finally got its court date. We weren't suing for much. Just enough to make it official. We wanted something on paper, in a system she couldn't charm or delete. Alyssa didn't show up. Instead, her new boyfriend Kevin did. He came alone, wearing sunglasses inside the courthouse, acting like he owned the place. But the judge didn't care about his attitude. We had printed messages, emails, screenshots, bank records, proof that she'd borrowed money under false pretenses, proof she'd used my name for fake ads. Greg spoke first, calm and clear. Then I told my part. When I showed the court the messages Alyssa had sent guys while she was still living with me, messages where she claimed I was violent, unstable, and trapping her, there was silence. You could feel it in the air. No one even shuffled in their seat. Then Kevin stood up. He tried to argue on her behalf, even though he wasn't a lawyer. Said we were both obsessed with Alyssa. Called us bitter men trying to punish a woman for moving on. The judge stopped him mid-sentence. "Are you licensed to represent her?" Kevin said no. "Then you can sit down." It was over fast after that. The court ruled in our favor. Alyssa was ordered to pay Greg back in full and remove all online material connected to me, including the fake ads. We got a restraining order filed against further harassment from her or Kevin. It felt good. Not fireworks good. Not standing on a mountain good. Just steady, quiet justice. Like finally getting a breath after holding it for a year. But the real ending came 3 weeks later. I got a message request from an account I didn't recognize. It was a picture of Duke, taken from across the street, near a park we used to go to. The message said, "He deserves better than you." No name. No profile pic. But I knew exactly who it was. She was still watching me. That's when I made my final move. I contacted every guy I'd found in her laptop folder. Every single one. Sent them polite, respectful messages explaining what had happened and how I was building a case to stop the online harassment. 7 replied. 5 agreed to join a group email chain and share what they knew. Turns out, Alyssa had borrowed money from 4 of them. Lied about me to 2. Claimed she was recovering from trauma to all of them. She was weaving the same story, over and over, with new names. We shared everything. A friend of one of the guys worked in cybercrime investigation. He offered to help report the behavior, especially the Craigslist ads and the blackmail-style messages. 2 months later, she got a visit from local police. One of the guys let me know they came to her apartment to ask questions about fraud and online harassment. They'd flagged the pattern, and now she was on a real radar, not just social media. I didn't hear from her after that. Not directly. But her third Instagram disappeared. And Kevin? His sketchy freelance business got shut down after someone reported he was operating under fake names. I never got a full apology. Never expected one. Some people live in lies so long, they forget what truth even feels like. But I got peace. I still take Duke on our morning runs. We pass the same trail where I once saw that photo of the other guy holding his leash. Only now, it's just me and Duke. And sometimes, when we pass another couple or see a new dog, he pulls a little closer to my side. Like he remembers. I'll admit it, I wasn't perfect either. I ignored red flags. Trusted too easily. Stayed when I should have walked away. That's on me. But I learned. So if you're reading this and you've got that gut feeling that something's off, check the second Instagram. Follow the dog account. Trust your instinct. Because sometimes, the person sharing your bed is also writing your ending behind your back. And if they are? Don't just walk away. Make sure they feel it. Josh.